that shit out in the shower, and I have a much better day. Like, if I come in here and have not had hyperlean, I will just fucking be stuffed up and
like allergies almost.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you remember, like pseudoephedrine and those things that are behind the counter now, because people make meth out of them, they have stimulants in there. Stimulants will open you up. It'll be like a vasodilator, so to speak, for the breathing mechanisms, because stimulants help that. That's why people say, oh, if you're having an asthma attack, drink some caffeine on your way to the hospital to help open you up, because all asthma medicine is stimulants.
When guys ask me about the hyperlean, I tell them, especially if it's a dude that's a little bit older, I go, you ever take real ephedrine and caffeine? I go, it feels like that.
Yeah. That's what we're going for. I was trying to make it as close to ECA as I could.
You got it.
Yeah.
I started using both of them about 2 weeks ago. Started cardioing again about 2 weeks ago. I spent 9 months. We've been in here? 6, 8 months? I haven't been in the gym in 9 months. Haven't worked out in 9 months. Started cardioing 2 weeks ago, and started taking protein again. And other than that, it was fucking donuts and fucking fast food and all of it.
You probably feel better already.
I do. Like I'm sorry, I can already see veins in my shoulders again.
You'll start to lean up in the arms.
If that goes fast at first, like the first 2 months is going to be real fast, and it's going to slow
that
down.
muscle memory, man. All coming back.
What's the best products to use if you're just starting to use supplements for weight loss? Kind of the same question.
Same thing, and the only thing I'd add would be use the same products, and you could add like the Amino 6 for your amino acids, which kind of get in your system faster. And if you don't use the hyperlean, you can use the SF187, and it'll give you energy as well. A lot of the thing with being out of shape is we're just tired. I mean, it's like you work a 9 to 5, you have a family, you have kids. It's like, dude, I'm just tired. When I get home, I don't want to work out. Well, if I had a little bit of SF187 and some aminos, I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. It's just 30 minutes. Let me just get something for 30 minutes. That seems to be the missing factor with most people.
And then once you do it, you feel a lot better.
Oh, afterwards you're like, you get all the endorphins. You're like, man, I did it. You didn't waste a day. Before you know it, 6 weeks has gone by and you lost 15 pounds. And you're like, hell yeah,
I
this
think
is awesome.
it's almost like therapy for depression and
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
So we can't let him cardio.
It is there. It is there.
We need to anti-cardio him.
Lifting weights is there.
He's
No,
got
I'm
a-
serious, yeah.
It is.
He has the treadmill backwards. What products would you recommend for weight loss for someone with hypertension?
Not the hyperlean. Now, even though we put an ingredient in there to help prevent the blood pressure from getting too high, there is ingredients in there for that. It still could increase. If you're on, and a person with hypertension under medication and doctor care, or a person with hypertension because they checked it at Walmart and they have hypertension, there's two different things. You know, you coat have hypertension from white coat syndrome, meaning you walk in to check your blood pressure and it's high because you get nervous, you get anxiety.
That's Amanda.
Or, yeah, and I get that too, no doubt.
That's Amanda. Every time she goes to the doctor, they say your blood pressure's high, but when we cuff her,
It's not bad.
it's not.
I have a machine at home and at the gym, and I check it there, and it's okay. And I go to the doctor, it's a little high. It's because you go to the doctor and you're probably in pain, and that's
She
what
literally just had this conversation yesterday with the doctor.
That's the truth, 100% true. So if you have high blood pressure, let's be easy and say, okay, don't pile a bunch of stimulants on there, but you can use the leanate, the aminos, and the protein, and the vitamins. You can use all that easy. But when you go to add in stimulants for fat loss, everybody's going to use some kind of stimulant. Like I said, we all need energy. Use the SF187 first, and start like half a scoop. I mean, there's 120 scoops in that little container. Half a scoop is only 75 milligrams of caffeine. Most people can tolerate that.
I don't know if we want to touch this one. There's a couple parts to this. It says, I now have stage 3 chronic kidney disease.
Okay.
I'd taken his Prime 9, but had to stop because of cost. Would this help stop progression of my disease? Now, this other dude jumped on and he said, I'm a nephrologist. I'm not a nephrologist, but I'm a dialysis tech. I can offer some advice. You are about in the middle. I'm not sure that it has been explained to you so far, but depending why you're having kidney failure, you can mitigate the progression of the disease. And the dude says, like watching your diet and blood pressure, there are renal vitamins that may benefit thus early on for you. Again, I do not know where you're set with your KCD and what was explained to you, but if you get some ESRD, there are programs to help you with certain costs associated with kidney disease along with your insurance. Now the guy replies back, well, this was noted back in 2015 and my doctor didn't want to do anything. My cardo, I'm guessing it means cardio, I don't know, my cardo doc made the call to get me into a nephrologist, and he said I needed to stop the Prilosec and go to a Kidney Smart class that turned out to be an hour class, which they told me more about going on dialysis than anything else. They said they would have a nutritionalist call me and set up a plan for me. That was 6 weeks ago, and the doctor didn't want to see me again for 4 months, thinking they just want me to progress so he can make more money. Last 2 tests showed I had a 48 and a 52% kidney function. Thanks for your help. I need it because I have a couple of doctors that don't seem to care.
Well, that's a ongoing problem is doctors and they're willing to care.
They just want your money.
I'm sorry, man. That's not good. Maybe checking with other doctors for sure. But Prime 9, I believe it's $35 a bottle. And actually, I just went and redid that and doubled the bottle size for the same price. So there's 180 capsules for $35 of Prime 9. And you're only taking, maybe 3 pills a day, maybe 6, maybe. So you're looking at a 2-month supply, 3-month supply for $35. I don't know what cost you're, for me, if I've got any kind of kidney thing, I'm throwing everything I can at it because you took a class on dialysis. I watched my great grandfather die on dialysis. It was very painful for me as a kid to watch a grown man lose 80 pounds, get weak, and die. So, and I know money's an issue. Maybe try to get a side job, maybe sell some stuff. But you need to throw everything at this kidney stuff you can. You need to see a specialist. If you're already in stage 3, you need to do something. Like, do everything you can. Your meal plan needs to be perfect. Your workouts need to be perfect. This ain't something to play with. Not at all. It's like if I told you you had stage 2 or stage 3 cancer, and from skin cancer from going out in the sun, you're like, well, I'll just tan a little, No, it's like stay out of it, I mean, check the price and double check the capsules because I think the Prime 9 is one of our least expensive products, and I believe it lasts the longest amount of time. But there's other things you can take. It sounds like there's some out there. I think it's called kidney stuff. It's a powder, but it is expensive. It may be $40 or $50 for a bag of 1 serving a day for a month. But again, that's a lot less than co-pays at the doctors and dialysis and dying. I mean, I would rather know I had to work 2 jobs the rest of my life to afford all the crap I wanted to be fit and healthy than die at 40 only working, 60 hours a week or something and just having some free time. I don't know. That's a really complicated, scary question.
There's a lot more that goes with that.
There's a lot that goes with that. You need to attack that with a ferocious intensity. That's nothing to play with.
Tell them what Prime 9 is.
Prime 9 is the organ support. It's a wellness product. It's got 9 ingredients, and it's got something in there for every organ of the body. The heart, liver, kidneys, prostate, adrenal glands. It's got something there for everything. It's one of our best-selling products.
Well,
Ronnie Hart says, for just over the last month, I had a personal trainer 4 days a week. I'm already taking your protein. Another thing I want to start taking is something that helps develop/build muscle. I noticed several of the products say that, but if you had to pick one that is mostly based on building muscle, which would it be?
Now, I relate this to age. If you're over the age of 35 or 40, I would pick the PCT first, PCT 11. If you're not over the age of 30, if you're in your 20s, I would pick the Laxgen or the Epigrow. They'll all 3 work, but if you're over the age of 40, your test levels are low unless you're on medication. So start with the PCT 11 to get your testosterone levels a little bit more regulated, so to speak. But like I said, if you're under 30, start with the Laxgen or the Epigrow. Stay on that for 1 to 2 months, and then add the other one in.
What if you mix all 3 of them?
I mix all 3. I take all 3 every day. I get great results from it.
Okay.
yeah, like PCT. Does it help you bulk up, I guess?
Yeah, the PCT 11 helps
What are you looking at?
inhibit the estrogen. Because we all have estrogen in our body. It just helps keep it low, which improves your testosterone ratios.
The answer is yes, it helps when people bulk up. The other answer is no, it will not help you bulk up.
Why not?
Well,
I need
if you have a testosterone issue, it will help that.
Because
Every
you're
day I do.
Because you're eating pills that fucking burn all your fat off.
Have you seen my video that I did on PCT 11? The PCT 11 video on my YouTube goes into in-depth explanation of all the ingredients. And I believe I've done one on Laxgen and Epigrow too.
You know what MREs are?
Yeah.
Military ready-to-eat meals.
Yeah.
They're like 2,000 calories. We just figured he needs to eat 6 of those a day.
How many calories do you think that is?
I'd probably say you need a solid 5,000 a day.
Whereas me, I
4 to 5,000.
2,000.
Like that's what I eat. I eat about 4 to 5,000 a day. If I do not eat a minimum of 4,000,
That's what I'm saying.
and I mean
lose
good,
a pound.
decent, healthy food, the most unhealthy thing I eat is fruit.
Yeah.
It's because it's got a little sugar in it, and that's not. I wouldn't really classify it as super unhealthy, but it is sugar.
Yeah.
But that's the only way I can reach my caloric goals. So.
Okay, Eric Miller says, I have a sedentary 8 to 5 programmer, and in between it, 3 side jobs. 3 jobs, Jesus. And a family. I don't have a lot of time to dedicate to the gym. Right now, I carved out 3 days, 2 days strong lift, 5x5, 1 day run.
Okay.
I don't see. Oh, here's the rest of it. I'm 6 feet, 216 pounds, calculated body fat 30%, and I diet shit. I didn't get the rest of his thing here. Can you look up the rest of his?
Yeah.
It's on the special operations equipment page. We're looking for Eric Miller.
Got it.
This is his avatar. Looks like a little porcupine
Got it.
Republican. See? You didn't even jump.
It's because you.
Doesn't have the muscle mass necessary to move the leg fast. You can't. You just can't.
You hit him with the fucking little mallet. It doesn't do
It
anything.
doesn't do anything. His leg just sits there.
Just read it out.
POW.
Tell him what it says.
Just it.
He does a 2 days of lifting and 1 day of running. And then
I am 6 foot, 216 pounds, calculated body fat of 30%, and diet is 1,560 calories, 156 grams of protein, 95 grams of fat, 20 grams of carbs. I hit a point where I'm still improving on my weight and running, but my body fat and weight have plateaued. What adjustments should I make to cut more body fat? Thanks for taking my question.
Okay, just looking at this briefly, your protein is about 150, your fat's 95, and your carbs are 20. Definitely got to increase the protein. You weigh 216 pounds. I would get at least 200 grams of protein a day. The minimum is 200. I might try to shoot for 250. And you could lower your fats. Your fats are pretty high. When your body fat is above 10%, you don't need as many fats as you think you need because you have plenty on your body. I would probably get your fats down to, say, 30 grams, 25 to 30 grams of fat a day, and keep your carbs as low as humanly possible. Low fat, low carb, and high protein, that'll help you get there faster. And then once you've got the fat off, then you can slowly add that stuff back in. But that's what I would say. And I might, even the 1 day you run, I might turn that into another lifting day and just do 3 lifting days. And post-lifting on each day, do 1 brief, like Tabata or high-intensity cardio circuit for your cardio. I would recommend that over 2 and 1. Because you can spend 5 to 10 minutes doing HIIT cardio after each of the workouts and get 3 lifting and 3 cardio days in. That's what I would do.
Jared Ferguson asked, how do you determine daily intake of amino acids?
How do I determine daily intake? How do I recommend? Well, I determine it by each scoop of amino acids is 6 grams of protein. So whatever you're taking of the amino 6, each scoop is 6 grams. So just add those up if you're trying to figure out how many grams you're taking. Or is that what he's asking? Or is he asking?
I'm thinking how you find out how much you're supposed to be taking.
So not figuring out how much he's taking, but figuring out how I would recommend he take.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a few factors in that. Of course, muscle mass, lifestyle, and genetic metabolism. For most people, you need 2 scoops 2 to 3 times a day, and I would start at that.
In addition to food.
In addition to food, yeah. Don't just rely on that. As soon as you wake up in the morning is a great time to hit 2 scoops of amino 6, and during exercise, and the third time will be on empty stomach between meals. That would be the best top 3 times. So I'd say 2 scoops 3 times a day would be our basic recommendation for every individual, and it can be modified based on weight, percent body fat, activity level, and genetic metabolism.
Is that it?
Well, we went to this one, so we'll do that one.
Okay. When using Hands down favorite supplement, only choosing one.
Favorite supplement. So that's kind of a tricky question because do you consider protein a supplement or do you consider it a food? Like I don't, my Champ
Give 'em-
protein
give 'em
aminos.
buffaloes.
Okay, so my favorite, if I had to choose one thing in the world, it would have to be protein powder, obviously the multivitamin. But I do not put those in a supplement budget and I live on a budget, so I don't put those in my supplement budget. Those are in my grocery bill because Champ Pro Formula 1 is a meal and the multivitamins help assist the fruit and veggies. I don't have to buy 20,000 oranges to get all of my vitamin C if I'm taking a Champ pack. So those are two things that I will not go without regardless. So then it goes to the supplements. Well, my age right now, I'm 32. I'll be 33 in November. So one of the most beneficial things to me is the PCT11. So it keeps my natural testosterone levels high and my estrogen low. If I had to pick one of my pill products, I would take that over anything because low testosterone, I'd rather just be shot. I mean, I've had low testosterone for like a few weeks of my life and it was the most miserable thing ever. I do not want to live. I would rather not live if I could not have high testosterone. And I'm just being honest.
Maybe that's what
I have nothing, there's no part about me that wants to be a female. I mean, I love women. I love my wife. Do not want to be one.
Yeah, I hear you.
So PCT is the way to go.
Well, if you run out of testosterone, come over and I'll just rub on you and make sure
Yeah.
keep you alive. Jeff loves the vitamins. Like I haven't taken anything at all for, I don't know, months. And then I started trying to take the vitamins. I just wasn't taking them, with food and shit. And it just started making me burpy. But like Jeff says, when he doesn't take the vitamins and he forgets to, like he bonks, like he crashes. I'm like, you need some 187 or something? He's like, no, I just got to take the vitamins.
If you have any kind of malnutrition, anything, and the vitamins have that ingredient in there, it'll totally change the way you feel. I mean, you will feel like you've had coffee or a stimulant, but it's not the stimulant effect. It's just that it's making your body what your body's supposed to do. I mean, we're pretty immaculate things. We can evolve over time. We can learn. We can think. We can do all these skills. But if we don't put that stuff in our body feels like that.
All right, Randy Newsom says, for someone, my mom, who just started an 8-week regimen of chemo and radiation, doctors recommend a high-protein, low-carb diet and tons of water. I was thinking of getting her Amino 6 and maybe Vaso 2 to add to the water throughout the day to help with, I forgot to expand that one too.
Got it.
Hydration.
Visitude, add the water throughout the day to help with protein intake as the nausea gets worse and she may not be able to eat as much. Should we ask the doctor about Vaso 2? I figured it would be great to keep her hydrated for the chemo. And is there any limit to how many scoops of Amino 6 someone should have throughout the day?
Okay. So, going to the Vaso 2. For your mom going through chemo, I wouldn't do much Vaso 2. It would help a little bit with hydration, but you got to realize it's going to help increase blood flow and all that. And with the radiation therapy, I don't know how much blood flow we want to increase to that area. Okay, so Champ Pro Formula 1 is going to be your lifesaver because there's complete proteins in there. And Amino 6s, there's really no, I mean, if you want to limit, okay, don't do more than 10 scoops a day. I don't know if you could do that many. A lot of people will take a gallon jug and put 8 scoops in a gallon and just try to finish that gallon jug throughout the day. But the Champ Pro Formula 1 will be a big time lifesaver, that and the Amino 6. And you can always blend, if she needs more calories and you want to keep the carbs low, you can use all natural almond butter or all natural cashew butter or peanut butter and blend that in the Champ shapes, and that'll help give you some more extra calories.
I like that peanut butter powder.
Oh yeah, PB2.
It's defatted peanut
Yep.
butter.
And that you could use that too.
It just makes it different, man.
Yeah.
When you get tired.
It's almost like a little Reese cup.
Chris Arena says, I usually take Amino 6 while ninja training, jiu-jitsu. Is it better as a pre-workout, post-workout, or continue using it throughout the day?
I think
Or
Chris
continue
was,
using it during training?
Chris took the fighting pistol class with me and my wife. He's an awesome guy. Chris, you're an awesome guy. You can take literally the Amino 6 anytime you want. I personally like to take it before and during, and then do a protein shake after. I do it before because I want to get the leucine in my body and increase all the things that need to increase for the protein to work. Then I drink it during just to make sure I'm getting enough water and staying hydrated. Because if you're doing jiu-jitsu, you're probably sweating a ton. So you really need the extra water. And then afterwards, I would drink the Champ protein because it's more of a complete meal.
I drink Amino 6 all day long.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason not to.
Like, I mean, all
Yeah,
fucking day long.
all day long.
That's why I carry a cup, because it's just easier to put it in the cup than the bottle, but I fucking drink Amino 6 all day. Zip Hansel, when are CIA aminos going to be available? I get asked
I
that
am working
twice
my
a week.
ass off on CIAs. I've talked to 2 different people, and since I do use a grass-fed beef, organic grass-fed beef, it's very hard to make sure it is what they say it is, because they could just give me beef and I wouldn't know the difference. So I'm having to make sure they have all the certificates in place and everything, so I know it's CGMP compliant and all that. But the last quote I got, I had to buy 500,000 tablets, and it was, my cost at that was still, I believe it was $25 more a bottle than our retail price to buy that many. And I was like, holy shit. I'm like, I'm gonna spend 60 grand on a product that we lose $25 a bottle.
I bet you can
So
still
Not
sell
too
them.
bad.
I would have to up the price.
I bet you can still.
Oh.
Remember when I bought 5,000 bottles of it from you?
Yeah.
It wasn't 5,000, but
Yeah.
I have 120.
You bought-
I have 123 bottles, so I'll sell them back to you.
Hey, I tell you what, I would buy it back.
I'll still take it. Like, I don't know what you had on there coating wise, but I could literally eat. I could eat 8 of those. I could take 8 of those fucking giant ass pills, swallow them, and not even feel swallowing them, and they never made me fucking burpy or anything.
Those were one of my best products ever. I will be bringing those back, I guarantee it. And I'm trying to have 2 amino products. I want to have 2. I want to have one that's made of beef and one that's made of like a white, lean protein source. So my plan is eventually to have 2 of those.
What is that?
So people can,
What's a white? What do you mean, like chicken?
like a fish or chicken source. And I want to do that because there's different amino acid profiles. And I'm thinking, okay, if you sit down, you don't have time to eat, you take 5 of the beef pills, 5 of the white protein pills, and you got a meal. Kind of like from the future. But I'd like to do that
Small ass
because
meal.
I'm when I don't have time to eat, I drink some Amino 6. But what if I would have took 10 CIAs with it? That would be even more awesome. I'm out of them.
How about boiled eggs?
Well, eggs are great.
How many do I need to eat to be a meal?
The average I would say would be
3
like
grams of protein each.
6. It depends if you eat the whole egg or the egg white.
Well, of course I'm eating the egg white. Yeah, the whole egg.
The whole egg?
Yeah.
Your whole egg is probably like 70 calories.
Justin will always tell you, "Don't take all those whites out of there. You can have one."
I don't like the yellow.
He'll have you eat fucking 12
Yeah,
eggs
that
and
yellow
one
grosses
yolk.
me
That's fine in cooked eggs, but boiled eggs,
Yeah.
I love boiled. They're just so easy to eat.
Yeah, they're easy. They're
Especially
good.
when I don't have to peel them. You can get them
If
in
you
a bag
eat
now
6
pre-peeled.
whole eggs, I would count that as a meal.
Amanda won't like you.
6. But that's a man. A woman could probably do 2 or 3.
Make me fart.
But as long as you got a good source, because you want, and you got your own chickens, so they're free range. They're not put in an environment eating their own shit all day. So you got good eggs. You don't want to eat the whole egg on inhumanely raised chicken because, dude, there's bad stuff in there.
Yeah.
Who knows what they're shooting in them chickens?
Yeah. We
I
have
mean,
some
when
guys
I'm-
should chase them around. They get a lot of exercise.
When a chicken breast is as big as this,
Yeah.
I'm not eating
It's
it.
a hormone.
I'm not
drug.
eating it. Yeah.
Top 5 exercises for strength gain. That's Aaron Holland's asking.
Okay.
Would we go just
So-
the big 5?
I like to look at it as a category. So if I had to pick 5 things, I go, okay, 1 would be a squat, obviously. Number 2 would be a hip hinge, which could be a deadlift or a kettlebell swing. Number 3 would be a loaded carry, like a farmer's walk. Number 4 would be
Is that
a
like,
pull.
wheelbarrow kind of farmer's walk?
Yeah, you can do
Okay.
that, or carry kettlebells, or even take a sandbag and
You know,
throw
I've
it on
never
your
heard.
shoulders.
This is the first time I've ever heard you say kettlebells.
Oh yeah. I use kettlebell. I have kettlebells. I have Donnie Thompson fat bells, and I have the Sorinex. The same.